Lesson 1-3, compare whole numbers. Okay, friends, so we're going to look at the Reteach to Build Understanding worksheet for lesson 1-3. We are going to read through the vocabulary box at the top. And if you take a look closely, we are going to be using the greater than and less than symbols. And if you remember from first grade that there's the greater gator and the less than gator, and the gators always want their mouth open to the greater number, okay? So the greater than symbol, which looks like the gator opening its mouth towards the left, is used to show the number to the left of the symbol has a greater value than the number to the right of the symbol. Use the greater than symbol to compare 28 and 23. So you're going to look at those two numbers and you're going to think which one is greater, and you're going to write that number first. So we know that 28 is greater than 23, and we're going to put the greater than symbol in between them. Okay, so you'll see that the symbol is open towards the greater number, and we read this number sentence or this comparison as 28 is greater than 23. All right, let's take a look at number 2. The less than symbol is used to show the number to the left of the symbol has a lesser value than the number to the right of the symbol. Let's use the less than symbol to compare 28 and 23. So we know that 23 is less than 28, so we're going to list 23 first. 23 is less than 28. Go ahead and write that using the correct symbol in between. Another way to remember the less than symbol is it kind of looks like an L that was smushed or slanted. So we know that less than starts with L. That's another way that you can remember which direction the symbols go in. For numbers 3 through 5, we're going to use the place value chart that's shown on the right to compare the numbers 263,961 and 265,340, all right? And it's giving us a hint there to remember to begin comparing at the left, okay? So I always like to stack the numbers on top of each other like they did in the place value chart, but you can also compare them when they're side by side, like in a standard problem. Right, let's take a look at number 3. It says, what is the value of the 2 in both numbers? Okay, and if you remember from lesson 1-1, the little hack that I showed you, if you drop the 2 in its place value and then turn all of the numbers to the right to 0, it will tell you what the value of that digit is. So we know that the 2 is in the 100,000s place value, so its value is 200,000. Go ahead and write that on the line. Then it asks you what is the value of the 6 in both numbers. So again, if you drop that 6 in its place value, we know it's in the 10,000s place, and turn everything else to the right that's beside it, you're going to turn them to zeros. You'll see that the 6 is worth 60,000. So go ahead and write 60,000 on the. Okay, so if you haven't noticed, we started comparing the numbers on the left. We always start on the left when there are the same number of digits in each number. Okay, so the 2's were the same. That means we can't compare in the 100,000s place. The 10,000s place, they're both 6. We still can't compare there. Once you move into the next place value in the 1,000s place, you'll notice that the digits are different, okay? And number 4 asks you, which is the first place value in both numbers that has different digits? Okay, the top number has a 3 and the bottom number has a 5 in the 1,000s place. So that is the first place value where we see different digits. So we're going to write 1,000s on the line. If you take a look at number 5, it says the number with the greater digit in the blank place is the greater number. Use the greater than symbol to compare the numbers. So which place value did we see different numbers in the 1,000s place? So the number with the greater digit in the 1,000s place is the greater number. Go ahead and write that on the line. Okay, so now they also want you to use the greater than symbol to compare the numbers. So we know that the greater than symbol is open towards the left. So we're going to put the greater number on the left and the lesser number on the right. Okay, so let's go back to the 1000s place. The 3 is less than 5. 5 is greater than 3. So 265,340 is the greater number because of those digits in the thousands place. So we're going to write that number on the left. So we have the beginning of our comparison. We have 265,340 is greater than 263,961. So go ahead and write the next number on the right there. Okay, so your final comparison should look like this. Right, and I just underline the numbers in the thousands place as a reminder as the place value we used to compare those two numbers. For numbers 6 and 7, they want you to use the place value chart to answer the questions. So which is the greater number and which is the lesser number, right? Now you should know that we start comparing numbers that have the same number of digits in them on the left. Okay, so let's start in the 100,000s place. Okay, so if you have already answered number 6 and 7, you should have gotten the greater number as 288,000 because it had 8 in the 10,000s place, which is greater than 6 in the 10,000s place. And the lesser number is obviously the other number, 262,000, because 6 is less than 8 in the 10,000s place. All right, let's take a look at number 8. You're going to write 3 comparisons using the numbers below. So you have 34,930, 34,390, and 34,093. Okay, go ahead and compare those numbers. So you can compare the first 2 numbers, the last 2 numbers, and then the first number and the third number. That should give you 3 comparisons. And if it helps, stack the numbers on top of each other, and don't forget to start comparing on the left side. Here on the back, I wrote the first 2 numbers, 34,930 and 34,390. I stacked them on top of each other, and I'm keeping each place value column organized so that both numbers are aligned in their place values. Right? I'm going to start comparing on the left. I see that the number in the 10,000s place are both 3s, so I can't compare here yet. I'm going to move on to the next place value, the thousands place. They're both 4s, so I can't compare here either. Now in the hundreds place, I see something. I see that the 9 is greater than the 3. We have 2 different digits. I can start comparing my numbers here. Okay, since 9 is greater than 3, I know that 34,930 is greater than 34,390. Okay, and now it would be best to write the comparison going left to right. So if you wanted to, you could just rewrite the lesser number here on the right side. Okay, and don't forget to put your commas where they belong. 1, 2, 3, comma. Okay, so here on the back of my paper, now I am comparing the last 2 numbers, 34,390 and 34,093. Okay, remember we start at the left side. The 3s in the 10,000s place are the same, so we move on. The 4s in the thousands place are the same, so we move on. The numbers in the hundreds place are different. The 3 is greater than the 0, so 34,390 is greater than 34,093. 93. Okay, and remember we know that the symbols, the greater than symbol, is always open towards the greater number because the greater gator likes to eat a lot. It wants that greater amount of food. Okay, and for my third comparison, I am comparing the first number and the third number. All right, 34,930 and 34,093. As always, we start on the left. The digits are the same, so we move on. The number in the thousands place are equal, so we continue on to the next place value. The hundreds place, we have two different digits, a 9 and a 0, and we know that 9 is greater than 0, so we're going to use the greater than symbol to represent this comparison. We know that 34,930 is greater than 34,093. Boys and girls, I just wanted to show you one thing that might be tricky, or it might be a way that some worksheets try to trick you. Here I am going to compare the same two numbers that I compared up here, okay? The only difference is that I put the 34,093 first, okay? So this isn't like addition where you could just flip-flop the numbers and you're going to use the same symbol, all right? Watch what happens when you put the numbers in a different order. Okay, we're gonna compare the same way we know. We start on the left, the 3s are the same, so we continue on to the next place value. The 4s in the thousands place are the same, so I continue on to the next place value. Now in the hundreds place, I notice that we have two different digits. We have a 0 and a 9. Now I know that 0 is less than 9, so I am going to use the less than symbol to write this comparison, because when we read the comparisons, we read them from left to right as well. All right, so now I'm going to write the second number here, and you'll see that the number sentence makes sense, even though we had to flip-flop the greater than and less than symbol. So we have 34,093 is less than 34,930, right? So be careful the order that you put your numbers in. Make sure that when you read the comparison from left to right, it still makes sense. And if you really wanted to go above and beyond, you could check your answers by matching up the place values. The 3 and the 3, they're equal. The 4 in the thousands place are equal. The 0 and the 9 in the hundreds place is where we can compare. 0 is less than 9.